Hi, it's Jordantine1, and today I'm going to share with you the pattern for my new Vampire Lips charm or bracelet. So I have two different versions here, and I couldn't decide which one I was going to show in the video, so I decided to do both. So the first one that I had come up with is the one here on the bottom, and I was going to do all red lips, and then my son said, oh, you should make the lips different colors. So that's what I did. And then I asked my daughter's best friend how she liked the bracelet, and she said, oh, that's really cute. And I said, do you know what it is? And she said, little spaceships, because she was actually looking at it this way, and actually, she's not wrong. It does look like little alien ships if you look at it upside down. So I had done a second version where I outlined the lips in black, and obviously I can't do that if I have black as the background, so I did this version. I also made a similar pattern in a mini mural, and I'll be doing a tutorial for that soon, and I'll show you what that looks like. So it's definitely on the bigger side, but I'm really happy with the way that it turned out. And let me just apologize for the way that I sound. I've been sick for the past week, so I'm sure I will have no less than a dozen coughing fits that I will have to edit out. But I've been really anxious to get these tutorials filmed so that people can start making this stuff for Halloween. To make your bracelet, you can use either the Alpha Loom or the full-size Rainbow Loom. And I do prefer to make mine on the Alpha Loom for a few reasons. I like the fact that the pins are spaced a little bit farther apart width-wise, so that way your bracelet has a little bit more room to grow down in between the pins. And I like the fact that they're spaced closer together lengthwise, because that way those clear bands that tie the rows together don't have to stretch as far. And then another really important reason is because it has this alpha comb that has the 7 hooks, which obviously will help you loom a lot faster. But I know that not everybody has access to the Alpha Loom, so you can definitely make this on your Rainbow Loom. You just need to have your pins set in line with one another, and you'll only need to use 2 rows of pins, so you can remove the 3rd row or leave it on, it's up to you. And then you would just use 7 sets of pins that are straight across from one another. And you would want to remove those blue base plates from those 7 rows so your bracelet can grow down. And if you do need any extra help with how to do this on the Rainbow Loom or how to follow a grid pattern, you can check out my video that I did making an American flag using the Rainbow Loom. To make this bracelet, I used a total of 434 of all of the colored bands, and I used 61 clear. So let me just break it down by each color. I used 218 black, 41 red, 52 white, 41 purple, 41 turquoise, and 41 pink. To make the alternate lips, I used a total of 119 of the colored bands and 16 clear. And then for each of those colors, I'll break it down. I used 59 turquoise, 27 black, 13 white, and 20 red. So here is my bracelet once again, and I will add the grid pattern above my bracelet, so then you can just pause your video, follow along with that grid pattern to make your own bracelet. So I'll start with this bracelet pattern, and then a little bit later I'll add the other one here if you want to follow along with this one. So let me just tell you a little bit more specifics about this particular bracelet. I used 62 rows, and the measurement is almost 9 inches, so it definitely is on the big side. It's probably going to be too big for most people's wrists, so you might have to scale it back and only do 3 lips, and then maybe space out the lips a little bit more. So if you did need to add or subtract rows, you would want to do that either on the ends or in between the lips. And the way that I have mine set up is I have 2 rows on the ends and then 2 rows in between. So when deciding how big you need to make your own bracelet, I found that about every 7 rows equals an inch, give or take a little bit. So you can measure your wrist and then just make your bracelet accordingly. Now here is the other little smaller piece that I made. You could use this like as a little charm. You could attach it onto a backpack or a purse, or of course you can extend this out and make a full bracelet out of it. So I will put the pattern for that above, and again it's very similar. It's just slightly different at the top here, and then it has the black outline. So just the amount that I've made here is about 2.5 inches long and not quite 1.5 inches wide. I hope that everybody loves their new Vampire Lips creations. You can always leave me comments on YouTube and Facebook, post pictures of your creations to my Facebook page, and please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel, and that way you'll be the first notified when I have new tutorials available. You can also find me on Pinterest and Instagram, so please feel free to leave comments and send me pictures there too, and feel free to subscribe to those as well. Thanks for watching!